Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin losing a little bit in value, just a little bit really. We're still moving sideways, but it's quite interesting to see just because Bitcoin is moving down a little bit from where it was earlier today and yesterday, we can see that some cryptos are losing 3%, 4%, the altcoins, some profit taking starting already, 5% here, Phantom for example, it's quite interesting that just to show really how much more volatile the altcoin space in general is, Arweave 10%. So that's quite interesting. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Not really taking a look at the higher picture. We did that in a previous video, the high level picture, but really here at the short term perspective. And what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is, basically it has done pretty much what I said to you in the previous video. I would think is going to happen. We saw here on the 1 hour chart a bearish divergence. We saw the MACD turning more bearish again, and it was only the 1 hour chart, so no reason to panic or anything. But we said basically because the price was struggling to push higher here, we had a little bit of a higher high, but the RSI was making lower highs, that there's a good chance that the price is starting to roll over. Also because of the price action, we had this I think it was on the 4 hour chart, we had this engulfing red candle, this one here, which is a bearish candle, which suggests that the next candles are going to be red as well, and that did play out. And I told you that there's a good chance that we are now coming down to that ascending trend line and we are going to retest it. And that is exactly what happened. So we did put that trend line on the chart in the last video. And I told you that at least as long as we are above this ascending trend line, we can still move higher, and the uptrend, the short-term uptrend in which Bitcoin is not broken yet. So you can see that ascending trend line here coming up, and if I zoom in again, you can see how the price really did move towards it and did retest it. What is fairly bullish though, is that there was quite a strong reaction to that trend line. So the price did react significantly. You can see it here, there was a significantly red candle to start with, actually the current candle here, which broke here on the 1 hour chart, which actually broke below this trend line. So we might see more detail if I go to the 30-minute chart. Yes, you can see it, where this candle really moved all the way down to 41.3k. Now the price did certainly react to that trend line, and so far it's been holding above it. Next candle already green. And we now need to see, it seems like that trend line is holding. And because that trend line seems to be holding and the RSI seems to have recovered as well, so it was obviously overbought. Now it's back down. It has come down. There's a good chance it has reacted to it. It is recovering and it can now start to rise again. Okay. And we can see it on the 1 hour MACD already that the selling pressure is reducing a little bit. We see a first attempt here of a light red bar on the MACD. It's only the 1 hour chart, so don't put too much emphasis into it. We also don't really see a lot of volume here. I mean, it's the weekend. So overall, there is a good chance we continue this move up as long as this ascending trend line is holding. And that's the short-term view, that if anybody's interested in that short-term view, we need to take a look at it, and also need to pay attention to these short-term indicators. And like a trend line, it's basically an indicator as well. Now, what is quite interesting is that back down here on the 18th of March, we had something similar. We retested, or we came down to that trend line with a very strong candle down, and then immediately it was all bought up. You've got the same situation here. It's a fairly bullish candle there. So there's a good chance we might do something similar as we did back then. After we now came down to the trend line, that we actually start to move up again. We did the same here. You have you had the RSI at a very similar level here on the 1 hour chart, very similar level. Just the price was lower, but from here it could now start, of course, do the same thing. And I would suggest the next target would be that 42.7k level, that resistance level where we found resistance previously. Okay, so that is where I would see the price go, but only if that ascending trend line is holding. And then if we break that 42.7k, then the next move up could take us into that region around the 44.5 and the 45.5k level. That would take us then very close to a breakout point out of this white symmetrical triangle. Generally, a symmetrical triangle to be considered a trend continuation pattern, because we are in a downtrend, or we have come from a downtrend. My primary expectation would be that we are breaking to the downside, which would suggest that we are going to touch that resistance level, and we are then going to exit the triangle at the opposite side. That would be in line with this Elliott wave count, where we are now in this wave E. This wave E can basically get as high as the wave C, maybe a little bit higher, and that would be around 45.5K. And if if we find a rejection there, then we are going to exit the triangle to the opposite side. That is what the Elliott wave count is suggesting, and that would also be in line with my primary expectation, which is basically that we are going to do that sell-off into the region between 20 and 29K. And that is, for me, more likely than a move here to the upside, where we are going to go first into this range between 55 and 65K and then come down. Both absolute valid scenarios, but the primary expectation would be to go down straight away. There's no reason for me, at least not yet, to change my primary scenario. Just objectively looking at from where we come from, that we are in a downtrend still. We are not in a confirmed uptrend yet. Absolutely not. That might change, but we are not there yet. And only if we really break above that 45.5K level, then we're going into this alternative scenario. But even that scenario would end up into that yellow target range, or in that yellow target range between 20 and 29K. So there's no reason for me, at the moment at least, to change that. Of course, if I change that, I will let you know here on the channel. For now, it seems to work out. Also, the forecast from the last video worked out, and also what we said about this target, or this zone in which the price currently is, here highlighted in green, that also seems to be playing out. We talked about that a break above that 39.7K level will probably result in the Bitcoin price to move all the way to the top of that zone. And we are nearly there. We haven't reached it quite, but I mean, honestly, it's only like, it's not even a percent in price difference, 0.5% accuracy. I think that's pretty decent. I would suggest that because we found strong resistance on that trend line, that we're also going to move a little bit higher still. And then we need to see how the price is going to react to that 42.7K level. Generally, the indicators still show further upside potential here, especially the daily. We're only at 56 on the daily RSI, so there is further upside potential. It could even take us out of this triangle to the upside. Absolutely, the potential is there, so we need to understand that. The MACD on the daily, still green. The current bar is losing a bit of buying momentum, but I would not consider that critical or any negative sign. The 2-day chart still increasing buying momentum, so that's quite bullish. The 4-day chart only had, it's bullish crossover the MACD, so also that is fairly bullish. So generally, short term, definitely, and then I talked about that before, the indicators definitely, they do support, or they would support in a price increase into this area, but they also support a price drop into this area. So both ways are possible. It's just important to understand in technical analysis, understand when there's a period we just need to be patient, which is now, and when there's a period where we can react, which would be a breakout either side of the triangle, and then we can make our decisions, and that is then when the price is going to move with a higher probability into one of these areas, to the upside, into this green zone, to the downside, into this yellow zone. And in the yellow zone, then this is where I would expect that correction at some point in there to be complete, and that the potential is then there for the price to really turn around to new all-time highs. That's my view here on Bitcoin at the moment. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and if you really like the content, then check out my channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.